Good morning, everyone. It's your girls from Obscure Orations. Even though it doesn't look like it, Dana is here with me.
I
She is in.
promise.
See, her voice is real. She's just a little icon. She's iconic today. So
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. Um, Today we're going to be talking about Big Brother because, as you all know, we are big fans of it. We put up we've talked about it numerous times on the full length podcast. Today's just going to be a mini episode where I'm pretty positive I'm gonna rant about freaking Vinny the Lip. Like I don't even have words for
Vinny
him.
the Lip Panaro.
Like I'm not even a fan of Ava's, and I was sitting there, wasn't a fan of Ava's, I wasn't a fan of Ashley's, and yet for the two of them I was like, come on, one of you make it to the end. Just for the love of God, make it to the end.
So, Taylor got to watch the finale live. I watched it last night because I had fur baby issues and was unable to partake in the live event. um,
The live event.
so, I mean, I knew who won. I knew Taylor had told me that Vince had a meltdown.
That was
I'll get to that.
like it was so beautiful to watch him have his little baby bitch meltdown as he's like, what the fuck I put in the fucking like it he just melted down like a fucking toddler, and it was amazing to watch. And then his little bitch fit afterwards, I don't deserve to win. No, Vince, you don't.
So, those of you that didn't watch, it was part two of the three-part HOH
Mhm.
final HOH competition. So it was him and Ashley, and it was the competition where you had to swing on the zip line and knock down the walls and then put the picture together. Vince was winning,
By a
but
lot.
and again, like I love my husband. It took me 15 minutes to try to explain to him why Vince fucked up. I felt like I was a ECE teacher and he was a toddler because he's like, I don't get it. He goes, I don't get why Vince is getting all six numbers wrong. I'm like, because they're not asking for the day that they were evicted. They're asking for the order in which they were evicted. He's like, yeah, but I don't get it. Honestly, if I had had a hammer, I didn't.
So basically, he would have been putting in the exact same numbers that uh, Vince was putting in, and both of them would have stood there just confused as fuck.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, you and Ashley both would have been like, this, it said order, not day. I mean, to be fair, normally when it comes to these competitions at the end, it's almost always the the day that they got evicted. So I do give him props. Like he was probably right for all of the days,
Yeah.
but they wanted order.
Again, I love my husband. I really, really do. Not a fan of Ashley's. And I think it was because, like an idiot, he always goes and he looks up the players' bios. So he's like, she's a lawyer. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. They've had other lawyers in the house. But when it came down to that, to the third part of the HOH, and it was Ashley against Morgan,
Mhm.
again, oh my God. The competition ends. Um, Julie Chen Moonves says, actually, you're a new HOH. And my husband's on the couch like, no, she's not. I'm like, okay, Mr. CBS, you want to tell me why? He's like, they only asked four questions. Well, it only took four questions to win. Yeah, but Morgan got one right. but Ashley got 4 right. Well, if Ashley screwed up the next 3 and Morgan got those 3 right, then they'd both have 4 wins. I couldn't get him to understand how wrong he was. I still can't. He's still like mumbling about it. He's bitter. He is so bitter that Ashley made it to final 2, AK, and then went on to win $750,000, and it solely relies on the fact that she's a lawyer.
Okay, I would like to also point out that Julie Chen Moonves did ask at the finale, like once the two of them come out and it's been announced that Ashley wins, and they go out and they greet everyone and like, woo, yay, go us, woo. That Julie does ask, and she's like, oh, are you going to be quitting your job kind of thing? And she's like, oh, I already quit before I got here. And he's like, oh, okay. So technically she's an unemployed lawyer, which I don't know why, but that made me feel slightly better because my thought was immediately, and again, anyone who's watched any of our previous stuff knows I have not liked Ashley since day one when she went and there was Showergate. And she took a 2.5 hour shower in Vince's first HOH room to the point that he couldn't go to bed because she was still showering in his shower. And my immediate thought was the amount of inconsiderateness that she had towards other human beings at that point in time. And then it just went downhill from there. Like there was never really a point where I'm like, oh yeah, I like her. I would like her to win. Nope. Not until they got down to the point where fucking the stupid twist got Keanu kicked out. And then it was left to Vinny the Lip, Morgan the Whore, and yes, I am going to call her a whore. Um, Ava
Ashley and Ava.
and Ashley. It's like, okay, I wanted none of them to win. Wasn't a fan of Ava's. She was just, I didn't like her personality. She never really grew on me afterwards. Like, Keanu was my man. I wanted him to win. I'm like, yeah, Keanu, let's do this. And then it was like it's like he lost his mojo right there at the end and just could not win the comps that he had been just beast mode at. He just suddenly was like, could not pull it out. So once it got down to the final 4, I was like, I don't want any of them to win, but I really, really didn't want Morgan or Vince to win. So then I had to root for someone else.
So prospectively, once Keanu got out, even though yeah, not a fan of Ashley's because he has such a sense of entitlement, wasn't even funny.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Um, when Ashley won the final HOH and she evicted Morgan,
Mm.
he knew, and that was the scenario I had said to my husband. I think 2 or 3 episodes before it ended, I said ultimately the best way this could end would be Ashley winning the final HOH, getting rid of Morgan,
Mm-hmm.
and taking Vinny to the final 2 because she knows because Vinny's the only one that she would beat out of that duo.
Oh my God, yes. I mean,
And again, he flew off the handle. She doesn't deserve to win HOA. She's floated through the game. Yeah, she floated through the game.
she did.
Her social
100%.
game was epic.
Yes.
And you can't deny that. Her
Mm-hmm.
social game was epic. But again, the scenario of her winning that HOH, ultimately going final 2, just miffed my husband right off.
I
But
mean, I.
when they were doing their speeches, when
Mm-hmm.
they were answering their questions and they were doing their speeches, holy hell, could you tell that she was a lawyer?
Yes, she was very much like that was the only time where I've sat there and said, okay, she actually legitimately sounds like a lawyer and lawyered it up appropriately. Um, because outside of that, the entire season, she used no smarts. Like, I think she should have leaned into her ability a little bit more and won a couple more competitions. Because yes, I'm with IT in the fact that realistically, do I think that she deserves to win for her gameplay?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Like, what makes me laugh is that everyone knows Rachel Riley as the one who floaters get a life vest. And yet, her number one ally after Amy and after Mickey was Ashley, who was the literally the ultimate floater. She did nothing the entire game other than just social stuff and made it all the way to the end and won. And because Vince was so bad at it, and I loved watching everyone call him out on his shit about, well, what do you think? Well, I had to do damage control, and watching their faces as they're like, "Oh, you did damage? Did you? Did you, Vince? Did you do damage control?" It's like, oh, I
So
don't think
I
you
know
did
you.
damage control.
I know you don't get the live feeds, but we do. When it got down to final three, when Ava left,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God! After the first part of the HOH competition, where Morgan won,
Mm-hmm.
Vince knew he was going up against Ashley for part two. He, I mean, I've never seen somebody kiss ass so hard in all my life.
Oh,
He was pleading with her, saying, "You have to win the final HOH and take me to final two. I'll take second place because if I don't, I'm going to be financially ruined. I don't have a job. I need the money." So he basically played on his inability to hold down a fucking job and earn some cash, and like made Morgan feel like shit. And I think it was at that time that Morgan was like, "You know what, Vinny? No. If I win final HOH, I'm going to take Ashley." And then when she said that at the finale, when Julie asked her and she said, "No, I would have taken Ashley," I was like, "Damn, girl, you go." That was the only part of Morgan's gameplay that I liked, was that she would have stuck true to her word of not taking Vince to the final two.
I mean, it's one of those things of, like I said, there was no true perfect ending for me. When you got down to those final three, Ashley being the ultimate floater and then winning, and you could literally see, I mean, fuck, so many of them made it so obvious. Um, when they were putting in the keys, like Will, I can't remember his exact wording, but when
Voting
he
for
put
my
it,
girl.
that's
Voting
what it
for my
was.
little girl. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
where and then Julie's like, okay,
Don't tell
keep it
us.
a
Keep it a
secret.
surprise.
And then all of them coming up, and the things that they were saying were literally just shy of just yelling that it was Ashley. It's like they literally just went, "Oh yeah, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, it's voting for somebody who deserves to win." I'm trying to remember, Kelly said something, and I burst out laughing because hers was just so like stab stab.
Like, seven people voted. Ashley got
only
six
one,
votes. So
only Morgan.
Morgan was Vinny's pity vote, and that's
Yep.
exactly what it was, a pity vote. You can't tell me otherwise. If Morgan had won that final HOH and was sitting up
Mhm.
there beside Vinny, it would have been
Everyone would have
seven to
voted for
nothing.
her. Yep.
Nobody, nobody had any respect for Vince after that game.
Nope. And that's the thing where, like, when they were doing the when they were talking, when Cody was talking to the jurors,
Uh-huh.
and Rachel was making the point, it's like, well, you got to kind of respect his game because you can't disrespect his game, but then respect Dan's and what was it,
Dr. Will.
Dr. Will, Evil Dick, like, and I sat there, I'm
Oh,
like,
I
no, no,
love
no.
Evil Dick.
Oh, he was my like
All
Dr.
time
Will and
favorite.
Evil
Like
Dick.
honestly, my all time favorite.
The two of them, like Dr. Will was my favorite. Evil Dick is like right there. Like there's a hair's breadth between them for who I like more. Sit down. You're being a
Do
pain in my bum.
do you remember Paul Ibrahimi? He's a big beard. He was a musician. He was in the house twice. He lost his season, came in second place, and then he was in an All Stars one.
I want to say yes.
So, anyways, I follow him on the TikTok.
Oh.
Holy hell! It's like the guy was in my brain because last night I turned to Norman and I said to him, I go, you know what Big Brother needs? He goes, what's that? I go, they need a reunion show. They need
Yes.
a 1 hour reunion show to hash out shit.
I
Questions
would.
need to be asked, questions need to be answered. And it's not on the stage while confetti's falling and somebody's getting
Mm-hmm.
a ginormous check for
Yep.
$750. Hilarious. I'm on TikTok this morning. I had to get up at quarter after 6 in the morning to give my cat her meds. Sitting on the couch, scrolling through TikTok, drinking my tea. Boom! There's a video from Paul. Do you know what Big Brother needs? A reunion show. I'm like, dude.
You're right though. Like, can you imagine? I mean, okay, so I'm going to compare it because we both watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Huh?
And until the more recent seasons, they always did a reunion episode right before the season finale. Like they would all finish, they would come back literally, I think they would come back the week before um the season finale would be recorded and released, and they would have their reunion episode. And the tea that was spilled, because at that point the others, like the first person out had been out for fucking months, and because they have time in between when the show ends and like when the finale happens, there's some time for them to all kind of have social media time.
Yes.
And listening to like the heated arguments where they're like, yeah, so when you were in the workroom and you said this about me, and they're like, oh girl, I didn't mean it, and they're like, yeah, you fucking did, I saw you in Untucked. I would love to see something like that. I don't even care if it's for any other Big Brother season, just this one. I would love to see it for this one because it was so backstabby and so devoid of loyalty
You know
that
what I would have wanted to see? I would have loved Rachel to confront Ava with all her shit talking in the diary
mm,
room. The shit that Ava said about Rachel, even Rachel's husband took to social media and was like, "But you ain't invited to Thanksgiving dinner."
yep. I'd be like, well, and I saw a video this morning. I think it was this morning that I saw it, where it was talking about that Rachel wasn't anywhere to be seen at the finale. Like she literally did her did her duty.
Moved into the background.
Pardon?
You know, she kind of just went into the background of stuff. She didn't. I don't think she wanted to be as noticed as, say, Riley.
Well, she literally, so I guess after it wrapped up, like the moment it wrapped up, she just bolted. She was out. She was gone. So then she wasn't at any of the press stuff afterwards, wasn't at the wrap up party kind of thing, was nowhere to be found. She just left. She was gone. She was out. So it's like, well, I'm sure she's probably hearing about all of it from her husband now. And
Absolutely.
will probably want nothing to do. And realistically, what's maddening, because again, like I want to go up to Keanu and just slap him for this, where I don't know, like I worry about his mental state, like outside of the game, and his choice in friends and relationships. Because you think about it, every person that he trusted and tried to be in alliance with, or got backstabbed in alliance with, were all people who talked horribly to him, not behind his back, but to his fucking face. Literally.
Um, Keanu's after show interview, I forget the
Mm-hmm.
guy's name that does them. He addressed that because
Oh,
that was
okay.
one of the questions, and he said, he goes, I wanted to play this game. He goes, and I wanted to play this game without it ruining who I am. He goes, and who I am is the person you saw in that house. He goes, I'm a very forgiving person. He goes, you could punch me in the face at 9 o'clock in the morning. He goes, and at 10 a.m. he goes, we're having coffee. He goes, that's just the way I am. He goes, so to have like the shit said about him, to have like being lied to from Vinny and
Vinny,
Kelly,
Rachel, Kelly.
and he said, he goes, I never lied to a single person in that house.
No,
He
he
goes, and
didn't.
he goes, and even though I didn't win $750,000, he goes, I walked out of that house with my head held high and very proud of the fact that I did not compromise who I was
And you
in
know
there.
what? I can I can fully agree with that just because you know what, I'm number one, thank you, one of the only times I will say this phrase ever. Thank you, America, for actually voting him for the most popular in America, and
America's favorite player yet.
yes, and giving him at the very least 50K, because I mean, he deserved to win the game in my opinion. I would love to see him return in another season, like bring him back for something. Fuck
Oh,
bringing back,
absolutely.
like, stop bringing back the bitch face players. Don't bring back Angela. She was a fucking
Oh,
raging bitch. Like, I didn't like watching her in the show at all, and she made me lose even more respect for people who supported her and were like, oh yeah, like, I mean, I was glad to see so many people were against her outside of the house. That made me happy because, like, okay. But the ones who supported her, it's like, seriously? You're talking like she's a piece of crap person, belittling people who are younger than her, making, like, when she made that guy, I can't remember his name
Matt,
right now, Matt, yes, calling him
Matt
crazy
Hardman.
eyes and all those things. Like, okay, he was a genuinely nice, good kid, and she was a complete, like, immature dick about all of it. I hated watching that. So stop bringing back people like her. Rachel was actually, I don't know if it's because she's got
Older,
kids. Pardon?
older.
Yes. Like, she was like, this version of Rachel was so, like, I mean, she still had her bitchiness to her, don't get me wrong, but she was so different from the previous times that she's been in this game. Like, I absolutely loathed her in the very first season that she showed up. But then compared to where she is now, she has dramatically calmed. And I still don't want to see her back in the show. Don't get me wrong. Like, please, Global, CBS, whoever's doing it, do not bring her back anymore. We're done. We're good. We've had the fill of Rachel. She's good. She's done. Stop.
Yeah, it's I think her diva-ness
Mm-hmm.
showed through quite a bit, especially when she like went on that rant with Keanu. You're obsessed with me. Stop stalking me, when she was cleaning the shower and he was like confronting her because she's telling people he peed on the floor.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, fuck off, Rachel. Like, seriously, just fuck off.
Oh yeah, and her
So,
saying, like, thinking that he was obsessed, like, you're a player in the game, you're supposed to be the frenemies alliance, and I'd be curious, like, I know that she doesn't like him, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but he was the only true person to you who at no point in time was trying to actually get you out actively on his weeks. Like, yes, he did say to Vince, what was that one time that he talked to Vince? And then still he goes back and trusts Vince again to be like, dude, you know, you burned me 5 million times before, but I'm gonna trust you again. It's like, oh my god, stop. But of all the people, Keanu was really the only one that didn't talk complete and utter trash about her. Like everyone else that were
Yep.
supposedly her allies were like, oh yeah, I mean, look at Mickey. Oh yeah, she's still a horrible human, the same horrible piece of bitch shit that she was in the last seasons
Oh
before. I'm
yeah.
like, oh yeah, but Keanu's the issue. It's like the one truly good guy in the game who was honest, and I think that's why I would have liked to see him win is just because he was genuinely honest. He played the game.
Yeah.
He was just good to the
His,
core.
yeah, his integrity stayed intact. I
Yes, which is
I
hard.
can't say that much for a lot of people, Ava included.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, I have no fucking respect for at all
Ooh, yeah. She's.
because he was a backstabbing, conniving bitch.
Mm-hmm.
She started so much shit in that house. It's not even. Well, do you know what I heard so and so say? You
Oh,
know, so and so said
yes.
this about that. So, like, fuck off, bitch. You weren't going to any place other than jury house.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you trying so hard?
Yep. And deservedly so. Like she just again, like this season was filled with so many, I would even say, you know what, reprehensible people. Because like when I look at Vince and the shit that he did, like from a game perspective, he was just bad at playing the game. Like he's just not good all the way through. Couldn't keep promises that he made. Promised everyone. Like listening to the people from outside the house come in and go, yeah. When Julie asked how many people had final two deals with Vince going into this,
Everybody's hand
and
went up.
yeah, I was just say several people's hands went up, and they all kind of looked around, and the people from watching were like, yeah, we all had them too. And then Vince just being like embarrassed and hiding. But besides that fact, it was the saying the words, I am self aware, I am self aware, I'm self aware, I'm self aware, and then continuing to cheat on your girlfriend, well, sorry, ex girlfriend, um, on national TV, and then to try to manipulate a girl who's supposedly your best friend into taking you to the end by saying, I love you on a deep level, like it's really, really deep. I deeply love you. And then I've sent you a couple of the clips of not one, but two, and I'm sure that there's others, um, interviewers saying to him, so you and Kelsey, and he's like, no, 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 we knew the boundaries. Everything's fine. We're all good. I still haven't got my phone back yet, but I think there were only two tickets just for mom and dad. And I just don't think there were enough tickets. Like, no, you piece
Right.
of shit.
Vince. So, watching the live feeds again, I pretty much told you everything that was going on
Mm-hmm.
throughout the course of the season. Um, Sent you a lot of videos from TikTokers too.
Yes.
So a lot of people think, or I should say, feel that what Vince did wasn't cheating. He was strategically aligning with a female that he thought would carry him to the end. So let's break this down. They slept in the same bed. They kissed. They continuously hugged. She rubbed his back, his arm, his legs. Um, they shared food. They shared silverware. They drank from the same cup. Um, that's cheating. Any
Yeah.
any time that there is a physical contact between two people that are not in a relationship, that, for instance, a hug that
Hmm.
lasts more than 30 seconds,
Yeah.
there's something beyond your normal, hey man, you want a competition hug?
Yeah, and just for anyone wondering about like the science behind it, who will argue you're supposed to have long hugs each day. You are. You're not supposed to be holding on to someone for a minute solid, unless like if they're crying and you're comforting
Practically
them.
groping their ass, might I add.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly. Like when you're making other people in the room feel uncomfortable and
Uncomfortable.
literally get up and leave and go, okay, that was fucking awkward. Like we'll tell you, like, yes, I will hug my friends, and when I do, it's normally like I'll say a 3 to 5 second hug, where it's yeah, you get a good hug, you give a good squeeze, you give a good hug. Scientifically, yes, you need 11 seconds of basically hugging each day in order to build endorphins, feel better, help immunity, all that fun stuff. Standing there for minutes at a time holding each other when you're not visibly upset, like I said, if you're crying, obviously completely different. Like when one of my best friends was going through a rough time, yes, I held on to her because she was a crying, sobbing little mess. That's going to be different. You're trying to comfort the person. When you're literally just going, oh, well, good morning. Oh, it's so good to see you this morning. And then you hold for the next 5 minutes. That's a problem. That just adds on to everything else where you're like, okay, that's no longer a hug. You're just holding on to each other. You're touching each other. You're whispering in each other's ears. And, 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 and. Let's talk about the conversation that they had that they showed on one of the last episodes of Big Brother, where the two of them
Vince
were.
Vince basically told her that he would go further if she wanted.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, but
The
he didn't cheat
percentage,
people.
the percentage, like what would you say is the percentage? And then they worked so hard not to say the exact words, and just going, "What's the percent?" Well, it high, but because of circumstances, obviously we can't. So the percentage is still high, but it's not being acted on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah. And then him just falling saying, yeah, it's really hard not to.
Yeah. So that's called emotional cheating.
And would
And
be
it
physical if they
and
could.
and emotional cheating is just as bad as physical cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional cheating is you sitting on one end of the couch and your partner on the other end of the couch, and they're texting someone else
Yep.
with the little hearts and kissing emojis. That's cheating.
And in some cases, like from what I've learned in the world and from my own personal experiences, it's that's worse than physical cheating. Because at least
Yep.
physical cheating, like if someone goes out, your husband goes out and fucks someone and comes home and goes, okay, but then is putting in all the effort to make sure that you feel loved, all that fun crap. It's completely different where you're like, okay, yeah, he went out and screwed someone, but he had zero attachment to it. He literally was just getting his rocks off. Do I support it? No. But does that make more sense to me saying, like, okay, your wife doesn't put out for you for months or years? I totally understand why you would go out and cheat, or vice versa. The wife does it, whatever your circumstances is or are. Um, I understand it. Don't support it. I think you should be mature adults about it, talk about it, all that. But that to me is far less hurtful compared to you emotionally cheating, where you're putting in effort, you're sharing all your daily stuff, you're supporting each other, you're checking in on each other, you're emotionally available and ready for
Exactly.
someone else. That is so much more hurtful. and just saying, "Oh yeah, I went and fucked a waitress the other day. It was great fun for me. What was her name? I don't know."
Yeah. Vinny was wrong. He was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and all the reports that I saw about Kelsey being upset, I totally support Kelsey being upset.
Oh yeah, one hundred
And
percent.
so it's like, you know what, Vinny, after you pay your taxes, you're gonna have enough for about 3 months rent, maybe a trip to Burger King. I'm glad you're single. I'm glad you're unemployed, and I'm glad you're gonna be broke in about 3 months because you don't deserve any of it.
Nope. I'm saying that's exactly it. I don't. It's one of those things where it's like, you know what? I don't wish ill will on most people, but for people like that, I'm like, you don't really deserve good things. So I'm not going to hope for good things for you. I hope. How was it? My teacher in eighth grade told us about when she was a waitress, and she wrote on the back of it because they weren't allowed to write mean things. But she had a really bad customer who was just a complete asshole to her. And she wrote on it, I think it was, "I hope your day is as nice to you as you are to everyone else," kind of thing. And that is what I hope for him. I hope his life is as great to him as he is to everyone else.
Yep, yep, absolutely. All in all, I was not enamored with this season. I I loved Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Will, even though the man never won a
Yes,
competition. He was just the
I
dad in the house, right?
I would
I
have loved to
I
have
liked
seen
him.
him and Keanu at the end together. That would have been my ideal too.
That would have been a hard vote. That would have been a
Ooh,
hard
yes.
vote. But I just find that it's becoming where like you remember the first season of Big Brother. Nobody really understood the alliances, the backstabbing,
Mm-hmm.
the conniving, right?
Yep.
So when it happened, you were all like, oh. Now it's so all out in the open air. It doesn't make the game exciting anymore.
Well,
They need to bring that excitement back somehow.
they like I enjoyed this season because like for the drama aspect of it, super filled with drama, so has it got high viewership because of that fact. However, like I said before, I agreed with Rachel where in the early seasons, alliances and loyalty meant everything. Like you
Yeah,
picked your final two and it was that was your final two. End of
that was your
story.
ride or die. Exactly.
Exactly. And when you had an alliance, you had one alliance, maybe two if you like diverged out kind of thing. But that was all you had. You didn't go past that point. There was loyalty. In these past several seasons, and especially this one, there's just no loyalty. And it's sad to see just because the whole point of Big Brother, for those who don't realize or didn't know because they weren't around for it in the beginning, was that it's supposed to be a social experiment. You take a bunch of people from all over, different walks of life, different ethnicities, different genders, different sexualities, everything like that, shove them into a house, and then you see what happens with them under surveillance. That was
Yep.
what Big Brother was all about. You did that, and you're like, oh my God, this is human behavior. You get to see what would happen. And it's sad because in the beginning of it, you got to see there was loyalty. You tried to be there for one another. They became attached. They were friends. They became family, all that kind of stuff. And then as you've gotten to the newer generations, essentially, you're getting to the point where there's no loyalty. There's constant backstabbing. Everyone bends to everything. Like
Yep.
it shows to me, it's still a good social experiment to be able to see, like, okay, season one, you had a lot more congruent loyalty and all that kind of stuff. And then to season 27, where it's just everyone fucking flip flops back and forth. other than the exception to the rule where it's like Keanu, where he's actually steadfast, sticks with it. So it's still interesting to watch in that fact, but also disheartening to watch just because it then makes me go, oh, okay, so we're all just screwed. No one's going to be loyal to diddly squat, and they're going to maybe feel bad about it sometimes. If they're all like Vinny, they're going to cry about it and then try and get the pity vote and go, but I really
My
meant it when I
emotions
said it
were
to you.
sincere.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what next season brings. I hope that it's not Rachel again or Angela or any of the ones that I don't like.
Well, Angela's on The Amazing Race right now with their daughter.
Oh, yeah, there's no way in hell I'm ever watching that with her in it. I'd kick her out. I'd just kick her
Honestly,
into a stream.
so Norm and I decided to watch it because it does have a lot of Big Brother alumni on it.
Yes, I did see that.
So we decided to watch it. There was one part where her and her daughter were running to get to the checkpoint, and I'm like, fall, fall, fall,
Fall, bitch, fall.
cobblestone dirt.
Fall and eat that dirt. Fall and eat that dirt. No charcuterie
Yeah.
board for you.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with your assessment of the season, and I'm still gonna watch season 28
Mm-hmm.
when it comes out. And maybe even if they do another reindeer games, I'll watch that because
We're
it's
we're glutton for punishments. We will continue to watch.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
All
So
right. Well, I think that brings our discussion of Big Brother to an end for this season. We will be back with more stuff to talk about because I just finally got to watch the new Fantastic Four. So we're going to do another episode, a mini episode on that, either later this week or on Sunday. We'll figure that out. But we're definitely talking about that because that was good. That was good. So good.
have a good day, everyone. We'll see you around.
Ciao.